a man of many parachutes, claims a world record. Now for polling day, the day of decision. The election campaign had been exceptionally quiet, but that didn't necessarily imply apathy among voters. In fact, they began arriving at polling stations quite early, and business was brisk all day. The British people fully realized the important issues at stake. As soon as voting was over, and the poll was in fact quite heavy, the job of counting began. The task went on through the night, and it was known that some 350 results would be announced before the morning. In London, where the day had been fine, rain now descended upon the large crowds who gathered to see how the election was going. Ignoring the weather, they stood and watched, cheering or groaning according to their views on Tory or Labour success. If Britons take their pleasures sadly, they certainly take their politics seriously. At Transport House, Mr. Morgan Phillips, Labour Party Secretary, and Mr. Attlee kept a close watch on results. And here's the scene at West Walthamstow when the Mayor announced the re-election of Labour's leader.
Person has been duly elected to serve as member for the said constituency, Clement Richard Attlee.
This was Mr. Attlee's first comment.
I should like to say that my opponent fought a good fight. As usual, there have been no personalities to mar the contest.
As results continued to be given out, it was calculated that a swing of about 2% in the Conservatives' favour was likely. This, of course, implied a considerable increase in the Tories' majority. At Tory headquarters in Abbey House, Lord Woolton must have been feeling well satisfied with results so far. Sir Anthony Eden was re-elected for Warwick and Leamington with an increased majority. His Labour opponent, Mr. Wilson, adopted the philosophical view.
And I would say this, that in perhaps the summer months that are before us, as I sit in my garden with nothing to worry me but the blight upon my favourite rose tree, I shall perhaps have other ideas as to who has won this election.
Now, Sir Anthony.
If it falls to my responsibility to discharge those duties which have been mine these last weeks, I shall try to do them in the interests of this land as a whole. I can only say to you, thank you for all you've done. Good luck.
In the morning, Labour had a lead of 3 seats, but this confirmed the earlier indications of Tory victory because the remainder of the count might well favour Conservatives. And so it proved. Sir Anthony Eden's party had been chosen by the country. Their increased majority fully endorsed their policies. Now it's up to everyone in the land to work for peace and for the prosperity of Britain under the Premier's leadership.